Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and this is another one of my Living Consciously videos. Today's subject, I'm not going to continue on the strangest things that have ever happened to me because I have been cleaning out files and I just found a file from, oh gosh, I started collecting this information maybe 20 years ago. And I found a file that I've listed all the things from my past that have happened to me that there was no explanation for. So when I get that list compiled together, I kind of know which topics I've already covered and which ones I want to cover. So today I'm going to instead go talk about orbs, the little circles or big circles that appear in your digital photographs. Since the digital age, since we've had digital photographs, the digital cameras, people have been finding orbs within their pictures. And again, beings that are living in 3D who are completely skeptical of anything spiritual, twist themselves inside out in order to say things like, oh, yes, there was lint on the camera. Oh, it's a reflection of the sunlight. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Whatever it is, it's a distortion in the lens. Anything except to give it credit to the fact that this is a spiritual entity that is attempting to reach you, attempting to get a message to you. My biggest example of it, because I don't generally look for orbs in my pictures, and I discovered that if you set your intent to get orbs, you will get orbs. We had a former sister of one of our ministers who was photographing her son on the football field. He was mentally challenged and a very big boy. So when she asked him, she said, "You are going to play a sport. I don't care which one you choose." And when she went over the list of sports available to him, when she got to football, he goes, "Yeah, I'd like to try that." Well, when she photographed him on the football field, no matter what, no matter what they were doing, no matter where they were, no matter who they were scrimmaging against, um, she got orbs to the point where the last pictures she took of him, it literally looked like snow falling. There were so many orbs in the picture. And I mean, it looked like snowfall. It was just incredible. So, by setting her intent to constantly get more orbs, um, you get them. There are two times that I can talk to you about from my experience. Uh, a group of us, the ones who did Reiki share together, we got together every week um, for Rays of Healing, for the ministry. We got together for painting class, and we would get together for birthdays and for outings if there was a special outing that somebody discovered. And this time, I'm not sure who brought it to our attention, which one of the six people, but we went to a place further out west in Virginia, and it was run by a gentleman who has now since passed. His name was Master Charles, and he was the guru for the place. And I think it was called Synchronicity Foundation. And in one of the main reception rooms, The There was an enormous picture of a very voluptuous lady. Not at all the serene, quiet, picture of the Blessed Mother that you normally see. But this gal was extremely voluptuous and had roses all around. And one of our group felt that she couldn't walk with the rest of us as we walked the grounds and wanted to investigate and got a little local tour of what the facility had to offer. One of the gals just sat there, and as she stared at the picture, she said that the picture came alive and started to talk to her. She was undergoing some really strong challenges at the time, and all of us were believers, so none of us questioned the fact that this picture may or may not have been there for her. But anyway, what I found out afterwards is that there was one in the group who constantly took pictures of us, and she was always open to anything new that was on the horizon that was spiritual. So after she gave me, I think 6 pictures, I looked at them and I thought, "Oh my God!" I said, "There are orbs in these pictures. There's an unbelievable number of orbs." So I was just so pleased. Sometimes they appeared over my head, sometimes next to me, surrounded all of us. All 6 of us had orbs around us. So it wasn't that they centered or clustered around a single person. So I got a little bit curious about this because of the fact that I thought, I really don't know much about orbs. In fact, at that point, I don't think I knew anything. And I'm going back, oh God, 14, 15 years ago. And it just so happened that the uh, gentleman, there was, uh, again, about 14, 15 years ago, there was one person who uh, published a book called Orbs. Very simple. I just looked in my phone and there's about 20 offerings on Orbs. I thought, "Oh, I'll pick it up. I'll tell you guys, who the author was." Can't remember, but all I remember is the single word Orbs on the picture. Can't remember the subtitle. Can't remember the author, but you'll just have to go through the list on Google of the 20 different offerings and see which one you're drawn to if you want more information. When uh, Again, I was fascinated by the fact that these orbs showed up and I wanted more information. So, when this particular author did his book launch, he had a talk in New York City. And so we went to the talk, and in it, of course, he went through the list of the normal factors that people will say to discount that this is anything. But, you know, it didn't matter to me. I subscribe to Einstein's words. If you believe in miracles, no proof is necessary. If you don't believe in miracles, no proof is possible. That's what I subscribe to. And so I thought I was just interested in what he thought the orbs were. And he basically came in with the theory that they were communication angels, that each one of the orbs was the presence of a being, a little being. And the irony was today, as I was just waiting to go on to do this session, I read an article, a series of articles that was uh, printed out and given to me by a dear friend of mine in 2015, and it was material that was channeled by the Hathers, who are the beings from Venus, who channel through Tom Kenyon, who I know is still an author out there at this moment in time. And as I'm on the fifth or sixth or seventh page of Tom Kenyon's channeled materials on the Hather by the Hathers, it's all on the fifth dimension. It's all about ascension. Chances are I'll be presenting um, some of it later in the month, but it was fascinating because in there he talked about orbs, and he said, "But the orbs I'm speaking of are not the orbs that show up in your digital cameras." So that's all he referenced to that. He said, once we learn how to go into the fifth dimension, we can learn to become formless. And chances are, if somebody takes a picture of us, it'll come out as an orb. So again, I'm anxious to get back to read more about that. What the author of the book Orbs told us is that these were communication angels. These were beings that absolutely were coming to the earth in droves to give people messages. And usually it was messages of caution, messages of um, warnings, a typical prophecy. Uh, they consider the spiritual realm considers a fulfilled prophecy a failed prophecy because the purpose of a prophecy is to warn you to change your ways in order for some catastrophe not to happen. Most people don't want to change their ways. They listen to the prophecies, they're amused by them many times, but nothing happens. And right now, the earth being in the condition that she's in, prophecies of doomsday are rampant. They're with every single message on climate change that we get, we're being told change, change, change the way you do things, change the way you heat, change, go for natural resources, go for wind empowered, go for solar powered resources rather than uh, and go for electric cars rather than fossil fuel cars, which just add more carbon emissions into the atmosphere. So, as I listened to this presentation, um, I was, like I said, fascinated by it. And over the years, orbs have appeared, sometimes in my picture, sometimes in my mind's eye, and sometimes they carry a message. There was one time I can remember how the orb of the soul of a baby appeared next to a woman who was trying to get pregnant. And I said, well, this is what I see in my mind's eye, but I see a little orb with a little infant, just the face inside of it. So I'm going to, and the face looks very happy, very shiny, very bright. So I'm going to take it from there that you will be successful in getting pregnant. And this little soul is virtually right next to you and waiting to come in for you. So I I was really uh, I've really been very pleasantly surprised when orbs have appeared, whether it's in my pictures or not. Uh, I know the last time I think I saw them was about a year ago. We were taking pictures. There was an unusual cloud formation and the sun peeking out of the clouds. And so, as I took three pictures, I got three small orbs in different directions. So it looked like um, one orb, but it had moved in very different directions because I took the pictures very rapidly. I took the pictures, one after another. And yet that picture of the orb was here, the orb was there, the orb was there. So um, even though the pictures were taken split seconds apart. Another time that I can share with you, which absolutely flabbergasted me, but again, this goes to show you how everything has consciousness, and that's the whole purpose of these videos is to have you understand that there is a reality that's behind the reality. There's a reality that's much more expanded than the reality that most people subscribe to. This time, one friend and I, she had been at the original time we had gone to the Synchronicity Foundation. Um, and she and I'm not sure exactly why, she wanted to go back and nobody else did. And so I said, I'll go with you. And so this time I was prepared. I had my camera ready and I thought, oh my God, I'm going to take pictures of just the trees and the bushes and just see what shows up for me. So I have I did that, and it was magical. All of a sudden, where I might have had a spattering of orbs, now I had a whole field of them that also looked almost like um, snowflakes. And so she was about 20 feet behind me, maybe a little bit more. And as soon as I snapped a picture and saw it and viewed it, I started to say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And she goes, what, what's happening? And I said, I can't believe all the orbs I got in my picture. And from her distance, and she's running towards me, she said, I don't believe it. So I started snapping more pictures. No orbs. So I said, "Bojana, you killed them. You you destroyed my ability to get orbs." I said, then I showed her the pictures that I took before she came, and then I showed her the pictures that I took after she came, where she said, "I don't believe it." And she goes, "I do believe. I do believe. I do believe." And I thought I was in some version of the Wizard of Oz. So I started taking pictures again, orbs. So simple as that. Your belief in something can manifest it. I think that was the message to us that day. And then before we left, we laid down on a little patch of grass that seemed very inviting. And she goes, uh, let's just lay down and look at the sky, before we got in the car and did our 2 hour trek home. And it was again, just a magical experience. The white clouds against that brilliant blue sky. And then I don't remember if I did this, but chances are I did. I tried to dissolve a cloud because I've done that in the past where I just focus and concentrate and ask for the cloud to dissolve, and it does. So I'm pretty sure I probably would have tried that. But anyway, let's see, what else can I tell you? My experiences with orbs. This is interesting. Some of the people there was a period shortly after this orb book was published in that neighborhood of about 14, 15 years ago, that all of a sudden I started getting through the internet, I started getting a lot of feeds about, oh, this is what one person's experience was with orbs. This is another person's experience. And one person I can remember published a video of the orbs dancing in around her room. And you can see the balls of light dancing. I then also did something that I hadn't done originally. I took the pictures and that were still in my camera and I blew them up. I took each orb and I blew it up and I saw that some of the orbs had faces in them. Some of the orbs had labyrinths in them. Some had multiple colors that I hadn't noticed before because they were predominantly green or predominantly blue or predominantly pink. So I hadn't noticed the texture before of the different colors. And so again, I need to get back to doing some of this because I had totally forgotten about it. But I do encourage you to ask for the orbs to appear in your digital pictures if this is something you wish to experience. Okay, I do ask you to ask for them because it's in the asking and it's in the believing and it's in the setting of your intent to get the pictures that it will appear for you. Um, is there anything else? I I can't think of anything else. I do know if you want more information on orbs or anything else, you can reach me through my website, Alicia, ALICJA, Jones.com. My book, Own Your Power Day by Day. You read 2 pages a day. It's a daily meditation, and you receive wonderful messages from spirit. Every day's meditation is different. Every day, the spirit guided the thing. $20 from my website, shipping and handling is included. There was one question that from a previous video that I was going to answer today. I don't think I've answered it, but the person asked, do pets reincarnate? Are pets part of your journey in coming back to you or with you? And absolutely, that pets do reincarnate. Pets will be the first ones who are there at the, wherever you land, where you're transitioning into a space of of your the next continuation of your journey in spirit, your pets will be there. So, and there are many instances that I've heard of pets coming back in this same lifetime of them, whether they tell the owner that they're going to come back to look for them or not. And sometimes they don't even remotely resemble the original pet. So it's not like if you have one of these beautiful tricolored cats um, that you're going to get a tricolored cat again. Uh, Not at all. I know myself when I first saw our little corgi that we named S. Taffy Jones, and the S stood for saltwater Taffy Jones. And I know that when I first saw him, my heart just melted. I mean, I felt like I was just a puddle on the floor, and I couldn't understand why until I had a healing and this vision appeared in my head where I was as the healing was being done on me, I was in the Swiss Alps and I was a shoemaker, and I had this little corgi that was my devoted companion, my only companion. And because the only other people that visited me were the people who put in orders for my shoes. I had no family around me. And one day I choked on a chicken bone and fell over and died. And as I'm looking at this scene from above, I see that this little dog sits there looking at me for 3 days, doesn't move, just stays looking at me until somebody comes to pick him up and to take me away. So that scene obviously still brings tears to my eyes. And I know that other people have had similar type of experiences where a, a cherished pet came back to them. So one of these days, hopefully, somebody will write a book on that. I don't have enough stories to tell you. That's my main one. Uh, so with a pet, and but I'm positive that there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, out there because people cherish their pets and just are so devoted to them. Just a little bit of housekeeping for next week. I will not be here. I'm on my way to Vermont for a wedding. So it will be 2 Fridays from now that I will be here. But if if you're interested in any other services, my website, Alicia, ALICJA Jones.com, delineates everything that I have to offer. Um, I love you. I bless you. I thank you for being here. And I read your comments after I am able to close the YouTube video. So uh, we will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.